even know what day it was yesterday, Jenny.
Yes, Sarah. It was your birthday.
And did you enjoy the dinner I treated you to?
Yes, Sarah. It was a lovely meal. Thank you.
Well, I'm not surprised. It's not every day that you get to eat such expensive food. I bet you wouldn't be able to afford it on your own. Jenny, have you ever tasted foie gras or truffles before?
No, that was my very first time trying them.
Oh, I see. I suppose you're not used to such fancy foods.
I don't usually have the opportunity to eat such expensive dishes, but I enjoyed them nonetheless.
Really? I'm surprised you even knew how to appreciate it. You seem more like a meat and potatoes kind of person to me.
Well, everyone has different tastes. I'm glad I could try something new.
I just have to say, I am so proud of myself for being able to pay for my own birthday dinner last night. I mean, let's be honest. You didn't grow up with the kind of privilege and refinement that I did. I would never rely on my children to pay for everything, like those lower-class peasants do. You probably didn't even know what half of the things we ate last night were. Foie gras, truffles. Those are delicacies that only the elite can truly appreciate. But I suppose I shouldn't expect you to understand that.
You're right. It was my first time, so I guess I couldn't fully appreciate all the nice meal I had yesterday.
I know you probably think it's my entitlement to have you cook for me, since you're my daughter-in-law and all. But let me tell you, I'm too nice and kind to ever ask that of you. I wouldn't want to burden you with such menial tasks. No, I prefer to treat myself to the finer things in life, like last night's meal. I'm from an elite class of people who take pride in being able to provide for themselves, not mooching off their children or their children's spouses. But don't worry, dear. Maybe one day you'll be able to appreciate the finer things in life like I do.
That's right. I had such a great time yesterday. And thank you for being so considerate. Thank you for inviting me last night. Let me tell you again, it was such a great dinner.
Inviting you? I never invited you. I don't know where you got that idea.
Oh, really? I never knew that.
Look, I don't want you to get the wrong impression here. I never intended for you to come to my birthday dinner. In fact, I would have preferred if you hadn't. It was supposed to be a small gathering with just my closest friends and family, and frankly, you don't really fit that description.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to be there. Jim told me to come along with him.
Well, that's just like Jim. Always inviting people without asking first. But I suppose it's not entirely your fault. You just don't understand how things work in our social circle. And let's be clear here. You're not part of this family and never will be.
What do you mean? But I'm married to your son.
Yes, I know that. But let's not pretend that makes you part of our family. Blood is thicker than water. You will never be a true member of this family because you don't share our bloodline.
I understand that, but I can still want to be a part of your life and the family.
That's sweet, dear, but it's not going to happen. You and Jim can have your own little family, but we don't need you interfering in our affairs. Besides, there are other reasons why I don't want to see you around.
Other reasons? What do you mean?
Well, for one thing, you just don't fit in with our social circle. You come from a different background and, frankly, you just don't have the class and sophistication that we do. And then there's the fact that you're just not very interesting to be around.
But why is John treated as part of the family when he's not blood-related? I mean, I don't have children with your son, but I'm still his wife.
John has been with us for a long time, and he's proven himself to be an important part of the family. He's married to my daughter, and they have 2 children together. They're the real form of family that I endorse.
I understand that, but I'm still confused.
You know, Jenny, John and Mary are the perfect match made in heaven. They both graduated from a prestigious university, and they have such successful careers. John even runs his own business. And let's not forget about how generous John's in-laws have been to me. They understand the importance of supporting their in-laws. But you, Jenny, you grew up without a father and had a tough background. You only graduated high school and have a mediocre job. You're not like John and Mary, who have achieved so much in their lives.
I don't see how that affects me as a person. I have done nothing wrong.
And to be honest, I can't help but feel that you only married him for his money and status. It just seems like you're using him to improve your own situation. You and John are not even in the same league. I've seen how you've been enjoying all the luxuries that come with being part of our family.
But that's not true. Not true at all. You're just making this all up.
And you know what else? I hate even staying under the same roof as you. It's unbearable for me to be around someone who married into our family just for money and status. You're just a gold digger, plain and simple. And I won't stand for it.
That's not true. Jim and I were colleagues at the same company, and that's how we met. You know that.
Yeah, and that's how you lured my son in. What did you do? Flash your underwear?
You think you're insulting me, but all you're doing is insulting your own son. I want to clarify something. I never went into the relationship with Jim thinking about marriage or his money. I never cared about those things. It was Jim's personality and career that drew me to him. He's kind, caring, and loving. I never thought I'd find someone like that.
Oh, please, Jenny. Don't act like you didn't have any ulterior motives. He wanted a piece of wealth and status that came with being part of this family.
That's not true. I never planned any of this. Jim and I just naturally fell in love with each other. I'm telling you again until it goes through that thick skull of yours. It was his personality and character that made me fall in love with him. Besides, I rejected him at first because he wasn't even my type. I'm saying this because you leave me with no choice, but he is only 5'5" and too skinny. Just like you.
What? Are you talking bad about how my son looks? How dare you talk about Jim's height like that? 5'5" is not short. In fact, it's above average for men.
You mean it's above average during the Great Depression? I guess then he would be above average.
What? How dare you say that about my son?
Look, I'm not trying to insult Jim. He is my husband, after all. I was just explaining how I initially saw him. But it doesn't matter because I fell in love with who he is, not his height or weight. And she said something about John and I not being on the same league.
Of course you're not. Don't even ask.
But we work in the same company, Sarah. We're colleagues. Doesn't that mean we're on the same league?
You and John are not in the same league, Jenny. John was born into an elite family and graduated from a prestigious private university. You didn't even finish college. I just want to make it clear that my husband and I come from a long line of extremely wealthy and influential people. His ancestors were among the wealthiest and most powerful people in the country, owning vast amounts of land and holding high social status. And my husband himself has left me with a huge inheritance, and I have the luxury of not having to worry about financial matters.
Oh, is that so? How wonderful to keep all that wealth by yourself. Are you planning to take all the money to your grave with you? Is that why you never helped us get settled into our new place?
Why should I help you guys? It's not my responsibility to provide for you.
But we thought that as family, you would want to help us out.
Family or not, I have no obligation to give you financial assistance.
But we were just hoping for some support during a difficult time.
I can't just give money away to anyone who asks, even if it's family.
We didn't expect you to give us anything. Just some help in settling into our new home would have been nice.
You should have planned better and saved up for your own expenses. It's not my problem.
Okay, I understand your point of view. But please, can you stop treating us like this? It's so childish and immature.
I gotta be straight with you about something. Say whatever you want, but you took away one of the best opportunities for Jim to have a better life. Before you showed up, I had my sights set on Jim marrying someone who was not only a looker, but also had brains and ambition. I was in the process of arranging a marriage between him and the daughter of a prominent hospital doctor. But then you came along and threw everything off course. You weren't exactly what I had in mind. And guess what? The daughter of that hospital director that I had been trying to set Jim up with, she went and married someone else. That man ended up becoming the hospital director and is now living a life of luxury and wealth. It just makes me so bitter that Jim didn't end up with her. Imagine the kind of life he could have had. But no. Instead, he goes and marries you. And now we're stuck with this mediocre existence. If only Jim had listened to me and gone through with that marriage, we could be living in a completely different world right now. You don't know how I wake up every night wishing things were different for Jim. I can only go back to sleep after shoving a handful of melatonin down my throat just by the thoughts of it. How would I ever accept this predicament that Jim is in?
But that doesn't mean you can't help Jim. If you hate me so much, you could have at least tried to help Jim and not me.
Oh, but I can never do that. I just don't want to see you happy. And you don't know how much that breaks my heart.
Are you really trying that hard to make me miserable at the cost of your own son's well-being?
I had put so much time and effort into trying to set him up for a successful life, and he went and threw it all away for you. So every time I see you and Jim struggling financially, a part of me feels satisfied. It's like I'm watching you both suffer for your decision to defy me and go your own way. And maybe if Jim had done what I wanted and married into that wealthy family, I wouldn't feel this way.
Let me be very clear with you. We are building a life that is filled with love, joy, and meaning. We also share a lot of common interests and hobbies, which has brought us even closer together. We love to travel and explore new places, and we enjoy trying new foods and cuisines. We may not have the same amount of money or status as you had hoped for, but we are happy nonetheless. I understand that you may not be happy with our choices, but I want to ask you, what can I do to be a part of your family? After all, I am John's wife, so it is inevitable that we bump into each other. I just don't want to be in a bad relationship with you. Don't you think that's better in the long run?
Jenny, let's be real here. You come from a nobody family, and there's nothing you can do to change that. You can try to argue with me and persuade me to see things your way, but it's a lost cause. You simply don't have the pedigree to understand what it takes to succeed in this world. You weren't born into a prestigious family like I was, and that's something you can't change. Unless you're reborn into a prestigious family, there's no way you can ever hope to be on the same level as me.
Okay, Sarah. Now I understand very well. Thank you very much for making it all clear. I feel stupid for wasting my time trying to bridge the gap between us. I have no intention of trying all this just to be with someone who would never respect me for who I am. At least we set the record straight.
Why, yes. Now that you know that, don't you ever appear unless I explicitly tell you to. Never appear in front of me, even if your husband tells you to. Did you receive the package I sent you? You better tell me that you have. That's a very important package for Jim.
Yes, I did. Don't you worry. I wouldn't let anything happen to what you sent to Jim.
Very good. Did you put it in the fridge like I told you to? Are you sure? Because it's very important that you keep it cold.
I know, I put it in the fridge as soon as I got it.
And you didn't open it or eat anything from it, did you?
No, of course not. Why would I do that?
Well, you never know with you. I don't want you eating up the whole thing that I sent for John.
I saw the handwritten "For John Only" note. You wrote that, didn't you?
Stupid me. Who else could it be? Shut up. Good. So you put it in right away. Because it's very special. It's his favorite food. Crab legs. He loves them. He always asks me to make them for him when he visits me. And you better not eat any of them. They're not for you. They're for Jim only.
Don't worry, I won't eat any of them. Even if I wanted to, which I don't. I can't eat crab. I'm allergic to crab.
I know that. That is exactly why I am sending over the crab legs, so that you don't ever eat them. The only thing that worries me is the prime rib that I sent alongside the crab.
What about it?
I'm worried you'll eat all of it.
Why would I do that?
Because you're from a poor background and people like you tend to steal things that are valuable. Whatever, just don't touch it. It's not for you. It's only for Jim.
Like I said, I saw what you've written on the package. I'm simply not going to touch it.
Actually, I don't think I can really trust you. You're not really that trustworthy. I'll have to check, because I think you will try to eat even a little of the rib if you can. You low-life thief. You come from a poor background and you're used to stealing anything that's valuable. I bet you steal something from the market every day, don't you?
What? Sarah, how can you say that? I know you don't like me all that much, but you're going a bit too far.
Oh, please. Spare me the lies. I know your type. Always taking what's not yours.
You're not calling me a thief just because I come from a different background, are you? You have no right to insult me like that.
You think you can fool me with your innocent act? I know your true colors. You can't be trusted around anything valuable. Just watch. The prime rib will be gone before we know it, and it will be all your fault, you low-life thief.
You know what, Sarah? I'll just save my breath. I'm not arguing with you. Trust me, I won't touch the prime ribs and never the crab legs. You can ask Jim later.
Oh, Jenny. You know, I feel like all the effort I put into getting you to make you more respectful towards me was worth it. I mean, look at you now. You're finally starting to understand how things work around here. Now that you lie down like a dog like that, you're much more tolerable. Geez, I dare say you're pleasant now. Just because you're married to my son doesn't make you a part of my family. You and I are in different positions from the start, so let's not act like you can be a part of us. Just remember to treat me with respect, like a queen, and someday, even in the darkest moments of your life, you might see a glimmer of hope.
Oh, wow, a queen, huh? Well, it's so nice to see a queen who would steal around just for a change, don't you think? Are you promoting some kind of queen diversity?
What? What are you saying?
Geez, Sarah, it's so interesting to know that someone as rich as you is stealing from a store. I've heard of multimillionaires stealing from their employees, but from a store? I mean, stealing items from a store? How do you even call yourself a queen after that? Shameless!
I have no idea what you're saying. You really have to stop beating around the bush. Are you telling me that I'm a thief? What kind of daughter-in-law calls her mother-in-law a thief? You're out of your mind.
If you're going to steal, go to a store that you don't know. How can you go to a mart that your son's friend operates, steal from them, and then send that to your son to eat? How do you even come to the conclusion that you want to feed your son the food that you stole from the store? I know you've already stolen from that mart more than once. You keep stealing trivial things, even though the owner has been lenient with you because you say you're a friend's mother. The prime rib, I sort of get it. But the crab legs? How the hell did you even manage to steal those? How is that even possible? That's actually commendable. I've never seen someone steal crab legs. I mean, you say you have money, but why do you continue to do such shameful, nasty, cheap things? Don't you feel shameful? Oh, I guess you don't. Don't you think your son will be ashamed of you? Or have you already gotten dementia already?
Listen, Jenny, I don't have dementia and I never will.
Then you're actually stealing, right? That's even worse.
The way the owner is setting me up is ridiculous. I deny all of these baseless accusations and I won't stand for it any longer. If they keep this up, I'll be forced to take legal action. They can't just throw around false accusations like that without consequences.
Oh, Sarah. Why the hell would the store owner do that to you to begin with? Besides, there's no point in denying all this because it was all recorded in the surveillance footage.
Come on! I'm not going to admit to stealing just because you think I did. And don't even bother with the surveillance footage. It's probably doctored or something. You can't believe everything you see.
Sarah, you have to take responsibility for your actions. Everyone in your family took the footage and they literally begged the store owner to lift charges against you. He said that he wouldn't do a thing unless you come over and apologize and pay for all the things that you stole. Maybe if you do that, he'll let you go. He definitely said he'll hand you over to the police if you don't.
You really think you've got me, don't you? Well, I admit it. I stole those things from the store.
Now you admit it. Now go to the store owner before it's too late.
But you know what? I don't regret it one bit. And I'm not sorry. I'll pay for them, of course. But I'm not going to apologize for having a little fun.
You're sick. I mean, literally mentally sick. You should get checked up.
You see, stealing is just a pastime for me. It brings a little thrill to my life. And I'm not going to stop just because some store owner wants to play tough guy.
Were you that bored? Why couldn't you have played shuffleboard like all the other old folks?
Huh! Good one, you loser. I'm nothing like those old dinosaurs. I still have plenty of life left in me, thank you very much.
And you thought stealing was useful? How did you come to that conclusion? A true work of art, you know?
Shut up! You know nothing about me. Now, here's what I propose. Instead of me going to the store and begging for forgiveness, why don't you go in my place? You're younger than me and you look more innocent. Plus, I'm too old for that kind of humiliation. So you go beg and plead for me. And if you do it well enough, I might even take you in as part of the family.
I can't believe you're not showing any remorse, Sarah. You stole from the store and got caught. You broke the law. You can't just steal things and expect to get away with it.
Are you really going to turn me into the police?
It's not my decision. Your family members have seen the surveillance footage and they think it's the right thing to do. You should have seen their faces. They were so ashamed to have you as a mother.
So what? It's not like anyone got hurt. And I'm willing to pay for what I took.
No, I want you to take responsibility for your actions. Just get jailed up for a few months and be a new person. At least show your son and daughter that you are capable of taking responsibility. They're already very disappointed in you. Don't make this worse than it already is.
My own family is trying to put me in jail just because of a few things I stole. Are you kidding me? This is the thanks I get for all I've done for John and Mary. I raised them from birth, sacrificed my time and energy for them, and this is how they repay me. By trying to put me behind bars for a petty theft. It's a complete betrayal, and it shows how ungrateful they really are. They should be ashamed of themselves. They would be nothing without me.
At least they didn't grow up to be someone as shameless as you, Sarah. Take that as a relief.
You! I'll give you the money and you go bring the best lawyer there is out there. If you pull this off and show me your worth, I will take you in as part of the family. Show me what you got. I know you always wanted to bridge gaps with me.
Yeah, not with a lowlife thief. I don't need to be a part of a thief's family. When you're in there, make sure you realize what you've done. Not only the stealing, but everything else you've done until now.
What? Don't you dare throw me under the bus!
Grow up. It should be a great opportunity. Be a decent citizen that John and Mary can look up to. That is, if they don't disown you. After all that, Sarah was finally handed over to the police. It was a relief to see justice served. As it turned out, Sarah had been stealing from every single store in the neighborhood. The evidence was overwhelming, and the judge sentenced her heavily. Other family members of Sarah practically disowned her. They were ashamed to be associated with someone who could do such a thing. Even John and Mary, who Sarah had done so much for, couldn't bring themselves to visit her in jail. It was as if Sarah had become a complete stranger to them. As for Sarah, it seemed like she would die with no one by her side. She had lost everything that mattered to her. Her freedom, her reputation, and her family. It was a sad sight to see someone so alone and broken, but Sarah had brought it upon herself. It was a harsh lesson for everyone involved, a reminder that actions have consequences, and that the people closest to you can turn their backs on you in a moment of disgrace.